Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of Science is Confusing. Today we will deal with a rather pertinent question that has gained some attention only recently. Should Ivermectin be used as a COVID-19 drug? I would like to begin by giving a short background on this drug Ivermectin. It is an FDA-approved broad-spectrum antiparasitic agent that is currently prescribed for humans in tablet form to treat certain roundworm infections that cause illnesses like river blindness. Ivermectin was first isolated in the 1970s from the bacterium Streptomyces ivermectis in a soil sample in Japan. The effectiveness of Ivermectin in treating various human and veterinary diseases led to its discoverers William C. Campbell and Satoshi Omura being awarded the Nobel Prize in 2015. As you can observe, this is a packet of Ivermectin tablets marketed commercially. Generally, the 3 mg dosage as specified on the packet is prescribed for antiparasitic infections. In recent years, several groups have shown antiviral activity of Ivermectin against a broad range of viruses in vitro such as HIV, RNA viruses such as dengue virus variants 1, 2, 3 and 4, West Nile virus, Venezuelan encephalitis virus and influenza and DNA virus PRV. This broad spectrum activity is believed to be due to the reliance by many different RNA viruses on various nuclear importers called IMP alpha by beta 1 during the infection process. Despite the fact that viral RNA replication and translation takes place in cytosol, nuclear access is an important event in the infectious cycle of coronavirus. As entry of proteins into the nucleus is a tightly regulated process, viral proteins exploit the importin IMP superfamily of nuclear transporters to gain nuclear access. The major IMP classes include IMP alpha and IMP beta. Nuclear import is mainly facilitated either by IMP betas or by heterodimers of IMP alpha or IMP beta 1. IMPs, particularly IMP alpha proteins, recognize nuclear localization signals NLS on target cargo proteins, whereas IMP beta facilitates the actual transport via the NPCs, which are the nuclear protein complexes. The prior use of Ivermectin in vitro against a large range of viruses suggests that Ivermectin's nuclear transport inhibitory activity may be effective against SARS-CoV-2 or the coronavirus. Ivermectin was previously shown to inhibit IMP alpha or beta mediated nuclear import required for replication of HIV-1 and dengue virus. Using CD spectroscopy, the specific binding target of Ivermectin was identified to be the alpha helical rich armadillo ARM domain of IMP alpha. With increasing Ivermectin concentrations, alpha helices in the ARM domain became increasingly destabilized. It was further verified that this observed effect on IMP alpha impaired its binding to NLS containing NSP5 from dengue virus. As the nucleocapsid N protein of SARS-CoV-2 contains a nuclear localization signal NLS, Ivermectin is expected to prevent the binding of IMP alpha to the N binding site, as a result of which N would not perform its nuclear activity, which is thought to suppress the host immune response. Additionally, the expression of two major cytokines, TNF alpha and IL-6, which are responsible for the detrimental cytokine storm in COVID-19 patients, were also shown to be dampened in the presence of Ivermectin. As can be observed, this cartoon illustrates the proposed antiviral action of Ivermectin. Ivermectin is denoted by IVM in the picture. Ivermectin should be able to bind to and inhibit IMP alpha, which is necessary for the protein in order to gain entry to the nucleus. Also, Ivermectin is expected to decrease the release of cytokines TNF alpha and IL-6. Now, in late 2020, a research group in India could summarize the results of 4 small studies of ivermectin as an add-on treatment in COVID-19 patients. This review showed a statistically improved in survival among patients who received ivermectin in addition to other treatments. However, the authors stated clearly that the quality of the evidence was low and that the findings should be treated with caution. One larger randomized clinical trial was published in March in the year 2021, that is this year. This showed no effect of ivermectin on duration of symptoms of adults with mild COVID-19. The authors stated that the findings did not support the use of ivermectin in these patients, but again highlighted that larger trials were needed to determine whether the drug had other benefits. Now, studies summarized by the National Institutes of Health showed limitations due to small sample sizes and problems with study design. On the basis of these studies, both the National Institutes of Health and the European Medicines Agency have judged that there is currently insufficient evidence to support the use of ivermectin in treatment of COVID-19. A large multi-center trial began in February of this year, that is 2021, to determine the efficacy of ivermectin in preventing COVID-19 disease progression. As can be observed, these are the results of a few studies that were published. The first one is from Egypt, where in a sample group of 600 patients who took the test for COVID-19, 400 tested positive and 200 tested negative. These 600 patients were subdivided into 6 groups on the basis of the severity of COVID diagnosis, with group 1 to 4 administered ivermectin for COVID-19 treatment, while groups 5 and 6, which were COVID negative, were given ivermectin as a preventive measure against COVID-19 infection. Next, we move on to a study conducted in Florida, where it was found out that mortality rate for patients who were administered ivermectin was 15%, while the control group, which hadn't been administered ivermectin, had a mortality rate of 25.2%. Most patients in both groups also received hydroxychloroquine, azithromycin, or both. Mortality also was lower among ivermectin-treated patients with severe pulmonary involvement. No significant differences were found in extubation weights or length of stay. In a study conducted on 24 patients in Spain, divided into ivermectin and placebo groups, the load of viral genes ENN specific to COVID-19 was checked. It was found out that the viral load of gene E was lowered to some extent in the patients administered ivermectin at day 7 post-treatment. As can be observed, this table summarizes findings from Iraq. Even here, ivermectin was found to positively affect COVID-19 treatment on multiple parameters. Despite the few studies conducted on the efficacy of ivermectin against COVID-19, several countries, mainly in Europe, Asia, Africa, and South America, have improved or approved its use in treatment between 2020 and 2021. It is to be noted that in India, only Goa, Karnataka, and Uttarakhand have approved the use of ivermectin so far. However, WHO has warned against using ivermectin for treating COVID-19 outside of clinical trials. No comprehensive RCT data proving efficacy of ivermectin in treating COVID-19 is available as of now. To conclude, although research has shown an apparent correlation between ivermectin use and COVID-19, data is still insufficient and sporadic to approve its use to treat COVID-19 or coronavirus. It is best we follow guidelines set by WHO and national guidelines of respective countries instead of wrongly administering medication that may have serious side effects on our health. With this, we come to the end of this small presentation on ivermectin. We hope that you like this video. For more content, do like, share and subscribe to our channel, and do comment if you want to point out anything from the video. Thank you very much.